Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. If you enjoy this type of thing, please leave a comment below and like and subscribe if you can. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about a couple things with the Washington Spirit. Basically, the little quick recap of last week's game against the Dash and a quick preview against San Diego this week, and maybe a little generalization of the playoff race that's happening this weekend. So I would say that, you know, outside of a few minutes for the game against the Dash, that the Spirit went in complete domination. Okay, so before a very raucous crowd at Audi, they started off a little slow. On paper, it said they were in a 4-3-3 formation, but in reality, it looked more like a 4-1-2-1-2 and was looking a little lopsided and overloaded. But I believe that was by design, which contributed to him trying to take a few minutes to get into the rhythm. So I was also very happy to see Gift Monday back in the lineup. In my opinion, she needs to be on the field, period. And it's the manager's job to find a way to get the right talent on the field, but we'll get to that, okay? And as a coach, not a fan, I'm also not satisfied with Kentori's performance, coming into this game. But hold that thought, okay, before you jump on me, okay? Spoiler alert, Monday and Kentori did not disappoint in this match at all. So let's give the first 10 minutes to the Dash as far as controlling the play. But in reality, they didn't do a whole lot. And on paper, this Dash team cannot compete with the Spirit at the moment. Okay, if they played 10 times right now in a row, I would expect the Spirit to go 8-1-1 at minimum. Okay, that's the gap right now. Of course, if that one loss was a playoff loss, okay, let's not get into evil thoughts. But that's where the Spirit are. That's where the Dash are. Okay, so after the first 10 minutes, it was all Spirit, and Monday ripped off the fastest hat trick in Spirit history, and the first one completed since Crystal Dunn, I think all the way back to like 2013 or something crazy. And the funniest part for me was, though, Gift already had a yellow card, and she almost got a second after that hat trick was complete, which would have been a very interesting trivia question going forward in the bars for fastest hat trick for Washington Spirit, but who also got sent off in the first half. Anyway, so this game was well over before half. The Spirit dominated in every category that matters. We're not going to rehash every stat of that. There's no point into it. In fact, it was such a good performance that they made 2 subs in half. They took Monday and Hirschfeld out. Okay, Cantori came on, and besides her very cheeky, very crafty goal, she was also much better and better integrated into the team and what the team was trying to do. And that's very good news because she is an outstanding player. Okay, but as I said, it's the manager's job to get all the weapons he needs on the field, and you got to figure that formation out. All right. So the good news here is that I don't doubt Kentori's talent at all. I was a little bit doubtful when we first signed her about how she would fit into the team with the way the Spirit play and that. But again, much better performance integrating herself, much more available. Okay, and as I said, they dominated in all categories. Hirschfeld came off at half. Okay, Monday came off at half. It was nice to see Kawasi get 90 minutes. Rodman also pulled off another 90 minutes, but they used all 5 subs and got some good minutes for those folks. Okay. Anyway, enough of the review. There's no need to review when you have such a dominating performance. That was awesome to get 4 goals at home. In reality, it could have been much more. Okay, if they were a little more clinical, it would have been a higher score. So this weekend coming up is big for almost everyone with 4 games to go. The self-destiny numbers for the Spirit have not changed, basically, because of other results. They have 4 matches left in their own hands. 2 wins and a draw gets them in no matter what anyone else does. Okay, and right now, Gotham is really on their heels and surging, and I don't see Gotham dropping any points. I feel like they're going to run the table in the last 4 matches. And, Gotham's playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder for all the heat they took when they were underperforming earlier with injuries and things like that. I think they feel they were disrespected, including in my thoughts. I don't know if I posted any of that, but I was like, what's going on with Gotham? So they look hungry and angry right now. Okay, and we have the Spirit at home playing the San Diego Wave. Okay, and Audi Field will be loud and proud again, and I expect more of the same for Washington. San Diego is in a death spiral. Okay, they have not won a match since mid-August. Okay, and they're borderline terrible right now for multiple reasons, and the Spirit was not going to drop points this weekend against this team. Okay, but arguably the most important game in the race is coming up on Saturday. It's the North Carolina Courage against Louisville. All right. Personally, I think Courage will get the 3 points at home, and much as I like Louisville and their head coach, I think they're playoff frauds and they're not going to make it this year. And just too many weaknesses. But there's 4 games to play for everything, and I hope they prove me wrong. But I feel like they're going to drop out of the 8 just based on they're just not deep enough, and they don't play angry enough right now. They have some good talent, but it's just not deep enough. So I think they're out. Okay. The rest goes like this, though. And I had my notes here. Let's see. I think Dash in Orlando is going to be a draw in Houston, which is not going to help Orlando. I think Gotham wrecks Seattle at home. Portland wins at home and eliminates Bay. Chicago and Utah. Result doesn't matter. Maybe Utah edges that one on the road. They're on a streak, but it's not going to help them. They're mathematically not eliminated, but they could possibly be eliminated this week if everything went against them. I think it will take another game, though. KC is going to win on the road against Angel City, even though they've locked up the Shield. They're in no mood to stop going, and I don't think Angel City has what it takes to defeat this. Possibly a draw. We'll see. Anyway, back to the Spirit. There's some things that I've been noticing, and I really feel, and let me know in the comments if you agree. I think there's only 3 indispensable players on the Spirit right now that they can't do without one of, okay? That would be Kingsbury in goal, Mickey Owen in defense, and Hirschfeld in the midfield. They are a different team if any of those 3 are off the field. And, you're going, oh, what about, Rodman, Cantori? Well, we could afford to have 1 or 2 not playing, but there's so many attacking weapons right now. That's an abundance, okay? So that's a good problem to have. But for me, the 3 I named there are anchors that have to be on the field, and they just make a different dynamic. I am so impressed with Mickey Owen this season, and, of course, Hirschfeld. But Kingsbury is basically your steady rock back there that's going to keep certain goals out that go in against other keepers. So those are the 3 mainstays. Tell me what you think, though. I was very happy to see Hirschfeld back, but obviously they were good enough to take her off at half. But in usual circumstances, she needs to be on the field. So that's all I got for this week. Let me know how you feel about it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I think I'm going to redo the How the Spirit Can Win the Playoffs video to make it shorter. Since I had to move it from a different channel, it lost a lot of traction. I didn't really think about everything disappearing. So look for another upload in the next day or 2 before the match on this weekend. Okay? Have a great day. Bye-bye.